This is Dr. J. Welcome back to Thesis in 101, where you make things harder than what they need to be. Before I do anything else, I just want to thank each and every viewer and subscriber. This channel has officially joined the 100 subscribers list, and I'm super grateful for the support and the comments and the positive vibes. You have no idea how much this means to me. Here's a reminder of what we do on this channel. In this series, we cover tips and tricks to help you on your research journey so that it doesn't suck as hard as mine did. If you're interested and would like to see more videos like this, please give this a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let's see if we can make it 200. Today's focus is on references. How do we find them? A special thanks to Jillian for suggesting this topic. Let's get right into it. In the previous lesson, we noted that referencing is a lot more than a chore that we need to do to show that we are not plagiarizing. In this lesson, I'll show you how to find references, especially when you are broke. I mean, it is soul crushing when you find a promising paper and it costs like $39.99. So I'll throw in a couple of bonus tips to find references that are free. Before you search for anything, make sure you have a referencing tool such as Mendeley with the Word plugin so you can download and organize papers you come across. If you are affiliated with a research institution, using their database to find references is quite easy. If you are writing a dissertation or thesis, you may want to check out similar deliverables in your field for ideas and inspiration. For instance, at my university, you go to their library site and you follow the breadcrumbs. Search and find, thesis and dissertation. Select the database, insert a couple of keywords, select what you want, and download. As you can see, there are many search engines and databases you can consult to find good quality references, but I find that Google Scholar's interface is very friendly. You don't have to get too technical in order to find what you need. In the search bar, insert your keywords and wait for the results to pop up. In the previous lesson, I spoke about finding key authors for specific topics, principles, or methods you are applying in your research. Google's algorithm can help you a lot with this because it usually places the most referenced or popular papers as per your keywords on the first page that is displayed. An easy way to see this is to look at the cited by section under each result. As you can see, the first one had about 1,600, so that is a pretty popular paper. Usually the most referenced author is also a key author on the subject. A side note, referencing a key or popular author does not necessarily mean that the views of this author is the view you should be adopting in your study. For instance, Mark Prensky made some bold statements around digital natives. He claimed that the brain structure of a person who interacts with technology on a daily basis is different to the brain structure of someone who does not. Now that and a couple of other of his statements have been refuted in later research, but when you talk about digital natives as a topic without acknowledging the impact of his statements, you may be missing crucial evidence for any statement you may make in your research. By the way, if you want to learn more about how to back up statements you would like to make in your research, check out my tutorial on how to build arguments. Coming back to finding references, as you remember, we clicked on a paper that we liked. Now it's time to read the abstract. The abstract should tell you whether this paper is what you are looking for or not. If it is vaguely looking like something you can use, download it and add it to your referencing tool. You may not find the paper that valuable now, but as your knowledge on the subject expands, you may find value in the paper later. If, of course, the abstract tells you that the paper is not even in the same realm as your subject, just ignore it and move on to the next. So what happens if you find a very promising paper but you see that it has a price tag to it? And yes, this can happen even if you are affiliated with a research institution. Just in case you haven't noticed, if you are affiliated, you will have access to a lot more material than someone who is not, but it doesn't mean that you have access to all the material. This is where my good friend Normal Google comes in. Copy the full name of the paper and paste it into Normal Google. Often institutions use some of these papers or books as part of their coursework and load it to their website where anybody with an internet connection can find it. You may have to jump through a couple of hoops to get it, but it's worth it. So for instance, in this one, all we have to do is say, I want to see it in PDF Reader. Then you print it to PDF, give it a name, and you're done. If you don't know, based on your keywords, Google Scholar may take you to a book. Now, we both know that you're not going to buy the book. We also know that one or both of us don't know where the library is situated. that shouldn't stop you from gaining access to parts of the book that you need electronically. Number 1, go to normal Google like you did before and try your luck. Just add PDF at the end. ResearchGate is a good bet to find chapters of books that you can download as a PDF. If that doesn't work, go back to Google Scholar and click on the link. This will take you to Google Books, where you will find that parts of the book is made available for free. Because they want to sell the book, you won't be able to download it, but nothing stops you from doing screen grabs via a snipping tool and paste that into a Word document. You can also copy the URL and paste it into a Word doc. What I used to add to my Word doc is just the citation. So you can go to Google, click on the little inverted commas, copy the citation that you need, plunk that into your Word document, and then save it as a PDF. Save it in your referencing tool. Then, of course, doing the necessary administration in order for you to find your paper at a later stage. Always insert the name, the authors, and the year of publication. Having this representation in your referencing tool will help you in the next step when you actually use the reference. I will show you that in the next tutorial. I did mention before that you don't need to get too technical when it comes to the use of Google, but some technicality may come into play. The algorithm that Google uses focuses on the string, which is the combination of your keywords, but it also focuses on the individual words in your string. For instance, business and IT alignment would be considered as a string, but business and IT and alignment will also be considered as individual words that Google search for. This means that the results you get will be quite substantial, and there may be a lot of things that is completely irrelevant to what you want. In those instances, all you have to do is place your string in inverted commas, and Google will know that you're looking for the full string and not individual words. As you can see, the results that come back is everything that you have in your string. But don't start off by using this, because you may miss out on very relevant papers that doesn't mention your string in its entirety, and the results will then not appear. When you use other databases or search engines, you may need to get a little bit more technical than using inverted commas, but with Google, that should be enough. You can also use the inverted commas when trying to reverse engineer finding a name of a paper or book. There are times when you find that you may have downloaded a paper that doesn't show the names of the journal it's published in or even the author. For those, just take a line of the paper or book, go to normal Google, add some inverted commas, move your placement to between the inverted commas, paste, and then click on search. As you can see, you only have 2 results here. Click on one and see what pops up. So that paper was a book after all. It was written by John Ward and Joe Peppard. Reverse engineering done. Now all that's left to do is to ensure those details are recorded in the referencing tool. Author, year of publication, it was a book. One more thing, the point of keywords or parameters is to let your search engine know what you want to include or exclude, but those parameters are created by your limitation of what you know. So, to find other valuable references that you may inadvertently excluded, you may want to check out the references of your references. So go to the papers that you've downloaded, enter references in the keyword section, and it should take you to the references page. Now, I'm not suggesting that you look up each of those references because it is just going to take you down a rabbit hole, but look for titles that you think you might find useful. All you then have to do is just copy it, go back to Google Scholar, paste what you have there, and it should give you one result. In summary, Google is your best friend when finding references, and don't try to do this without a referencing tool. Thank you for watching. The next one is focused on how to reference and how to use that referencing tool. Let me know if there are any other topics you would like me to cover. This is Dr. J, signing off.